Are you guys ready? Super. Woo! Let's put some energy in this room. It's mid-afternoon. We're serving coffee in the outset. Thank you for coming. We're very happy to be here. Very happy that you chose this session to spend your day. We're going to talk about productivity. We're going to try to make it productive as well. My name is Philippe Marinier. I run strategic partnerships for Salesforce. I've been doing this for 5 years now, and been doing this across different product groups. We call them clouds, depending on which product family they're a part of. And what I do is work with a small team that looks at what our customers want, what you guys want, what we're going to build, what we're going to buy, and what we should partner for. And I focus on the what we should partner for part of the equation. And in that respect, we're looking at our customers' requests, what should we do, what other ecosystem they're a part of, and how do we build the best integrations so you extract more value out of the joint products together. I'm here with Damien Joly.
Hi, everyone.
Damien is one of the key product managers who actually built a lot of products and integrations we're going to talk about today. And don't be confused, Damien is a common American name, but Damien is the real thing. He is French. Whereas I have a very, very French name, but I'm actually French-Canadian, so I'm kind of the American version of him. So we're all knowledge workers. We all ingest information and disseminate information. And right now, there's a lot of friction in that process when you use multiple apps. So I'm going to talk about fairly broad product portfolios on the Salesforce side and the Microsoft side. I'm assuming all of you guys are Microsoft customers? Yes. Which one of you is not yet a Salesforce customer? OK. Great. Thank you. So I'm assuming the understanding of what Salesforce is and what it's all about is somewhat familiar for the rest of you. So here's what I'd like to do. We're going to do a very quick intro on Salesforce, where we came from, where we're going, which I think is going to be helpful to not only understand what we do, but where we're going as well. We're going to look at demos, because I'm sure that's what you guys came here to see. Damien and the product integrations he's built. We're going to look at the updates we've done on the current integrations we have. We're going to look at some new integrations we're launching, have launched last summer and are about to launch. We're going to talk about some of the customer successes we've had in serving Microsoft and hopefully some of you here. And then I want to leave you with the future of collaboration, because I think there's some breakthroughs that are happening in the market that are quite important. So Salesforce is a publicly traded company. I need to remind you to make your purchasing decisions based on commercially available products. Works? Thumbs up. Salesforce, one of the fastest growing enterprise software companies in the world. We were the fastest to go from 0 to $5 billion. We only in the last quarter had a $2 billion quarter alone. And we are most probably going to be the fastest enterprise software company to go from 0 to $10 billion. We are the 4th largest enterprise software company in the world. And all of that has been driven by the success of our customers and our partnership with customers. Because what we did 17 years ago was focus on a few new models. The first one was a new technology model where we adopted cloud and only cloud. And this was in 1999, when Google's entire business plan was based on selling search server as appliances. So the world has changed quite a bit, but we were the first one in pioneering with the cloud. And we did it for Salesforce automation to start. We also adopted a new model because we were cloud-based, and we adopted a pricing based on subscription, so per user per month, fairly common now. And the fact that we did this meant that we needed to really, really focus on customer adoption, immediate impact on customers' productivity. And when you do this and you focus on renewal, you have a different relationship with your customers. And you are always focused on ensuring the customers are successful. And that leads you to a new sales model where the entire organization is built on the concept of customer for life, Well, we always need to ensure that the customer is successful in how they use the product and what they do with the product and what are the next integrations, developments, or roadmap they want to see with the product. So I want you guys to remember these two things because they're quite key in how Salesforce approaches the market. And we've been recognized for all sorts of things. We're humbled to be one of the most admired company in the world for 4 years in a row. We have our employees that voted us as one of the best place to work. And just to give you a scale of how much we've grown with our customers, I joined 5 years ago. There was 6,000 employees at Salesforce. And this year alone, we're going to hire 6,000 employees. So we're adding entire companies, year after year. What we're most proud of, or I'm most proud of within the company, is that we have been named one of the most innovative companies 6 years in a row. And 6 years in a row is a big deal, but it really maps and I think celebrates what's so particular in our culture, that we focus on technology breakthroughs, that we want to pioneer, and we do this in partnership and completely focused on the customers. So we really thrive to be what we call a customer company. If you think about the world, you might have heard that people, there used to be 3 types of company. You're either an operations company, a product company, or a service company. And what we think is that in this world where we have cloud and we have social and we have mobile, you have to be a customer company to succeed. You have to be really, really close to your customers and partner with customers on the lifespan of what they're trying to do and how you help them do this. And the way we help them do this is by adopting everything cloud, everything social, because collaboration now is not point to point. It's always organizations that are fairly flat in how you collaborate. And it's very interactive, and we saw this impact of Facebook on the consumer market, and the same is happening in the business market. And everything is mobile. We really have this belief that you need to be able to run your business from your phone, because nobody, whether you're inside sales or, I can't see no roles where you're just only sitting at the computer anymore. It always happens within a mobile device. So we've done this with Salesforce automations. These are each of the clouds that we have. You see the logos on the slide. We did this with Salesforce automation. We are the Gartner Magic Quadrant leader, and not leader as mentioned in the quadrant or mentioned in the graph. We are the leader, top right, and have been for 10 years in a row. Same with Services Cloud, which we did after that. After we did this, we expanded into trying to help democratize analytics, and we launched Wave, which helps customers, any customer, business managers, have access to the customer information they need to run their business and be able to do this with interactive graphs and charts and do this from their phone, which is also a core tenet of what we're trying to do. We also moved into marketing automation, so Marketing Cloud, trying to transform what has been more of a shotgun approach to marketing into building more personalized journeys, we call them, where you do one-on-one marketing and you establish that kind of relationship and rapport with your customers. And we brought IoT Cloud to help connect customers with their own customers' devices and beacons and all this. So they could also connect and build journeys that were one-on-one in how they approach the market. More recently, we acquired a company to help you close the loop with e-commerce transactions with Demandware, an acquisition we recently did. And next week in Dreamforce, which is our user conference, which is the largest user conference in enterprise software, I think we're expecting over 170,000 people are registered. There'll be, I think it's 4 or 5 million viewers online. We're launching Einstein. And Einstein for us is applying machine learning to all the data that you have about your customers and helping you benefit from artificial intelligence on the platform without having to go through a PhD in computer science and figure out how to make that happen. So all of these things we call the customer success platform. It's the platform that helps you reach your customers, help you be successful with your customers. And we've made it open from the beginning. We did that in 2005, where we opened the platform for other people to come develop in the cloud. And we built a marketplace we call the App Exchange. And that was 2005. That was 3 years before the Apple App Store. And now it's grown to one of the largest ecosystems that we have that complement and keep on innovating customers that are developing their own custom applications on this. So that's our customer success platform. And more recently, we underlined the Lightning platform that powers it all with a user experience framework that enables us and you and other ISVs to build applications that are always on the same framework with a modern UI and fully integrated. And we're very happy with that. Now, if you want to talk about productivity, Microsoft is by far the best partner to align with. They have a phenomenal Office suite where they have 6 or 7 apps, I believe, that help you do more productive things. And they've been a great partner. And when they became a little more serious about bringing enterprise software into the cloud and opening themselves up to integrations, we partnered with them. That was about 2.5 years ago. And we invested together in engineers and product managers that are dedicated to these integrations, and also in a lot of user interface designers, because we really wanted to make sure that we could extract the best from Salesforce and the best from Microsoft in how you collaborate together. So the best place to do this was, of course, email, and that's where we started. And we built a product called Lightning for Outlook. And it helps you in email when you respond or receive or respond to email to have full access to the customer success platform information so you can run your business with both systems side by side. So Damien, can you show us how that would work?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's look at a demo. So I'm going to close the slides and open Outlook on my Surface tablet over here. So I'm running Outlook 2016. I'm going to play the role of a sales rep. I'm reading an email from Sarah, and you see a Salesforce button right here in the Outlook ribbon. So let me understand a little bit about who is in the room. Can you please raise your hand if you're a sales leader, a sales manager, or a VP of sales? Okay, very good. So the demonstration for you is going to tell you how you can enable your team to be productive as they work in Outlook, where they can see Salesforce details right in Outlook and share the conversation with the rest of the team. Now, who is on the operations side? Is anyone on the operations side? Excellent. So that demo is going to show you how you can bring the customization and what matters to your business, what might be specific to your business. We're going to show you how you can bring that into this experience so that all the time and effort that you've spent customizing the experience to specifically respond to your business flows will be available in Outlook through Lightning for Outlook. Now, do we have anyone on the admin side, on the Salesforce admin side? Okay, good. So for you, that demo is going to be enlightening in the sense that you'll understand how you can connect the Office world with the Salesforce world. And that's unprecedented in the sense that we are now connecting using the cloud. And that brings us to the last audience part tonight, maybe people on the IT side. Okay, excellent. A lot of you.
That's a sweet spot, I think.
The good news is that we are stepping away from installed software. So integrating with Outlook traditionally was done by installing a Visto or a COM add-in. This is not that. So we're connecting directly with the Exchange server. You have no software to install. Usually when I talk to folks like you, they love to hear this because maintenance is very pricey and time-consuming. So none of this is going to take place over here. So Lightning for Outlook was able to recognize all the people included on that email. Sarah, as well as Luke. It looks like Luke is a coworker of mine. I can see that he's rendered slightly differently. Gregor and Jeff are clients. They work for accounts over here. I can drill down on those accounts, and I see details coming from Salesforce about those accounts. If you've added custom fields on your accounts, you can have those displayed over here. So it's a very dynamic place to see information. When I return over there, I also see all the open opportunities that I have access to as a sales rep on those accounts. And I also see what Gregor and Jeff have opened in the past through the service organization. So when I get back to them on that email, I understand the context and maybe the mindset that they are in.
So
it looks like Sarah was not recognized. So I know you're going to ask me to be productive. I'm going to click on that button. Information is already pre-populated for me. I'll select an account over here, and I click on Save, and that's it. Sarah is now in Salesforce. I can take other actions. As I'm reading this email, the inspiration strikes. No need to toggle into Salesforce and lose that inspiration, so I'm going to remain productive over here. There's a bunch of actions that I can take. The list of actions that you see here is something that the administrator made available to me. If you're using a custom object in your org, you can have an action to create a new custom object record. In this case, I can create a case or an opportunity and very quickly move on with that email. This email is critical. I want to share it with the rest of my organization, so I can click on this icon and copy that Outlook email into Salesforce. So with a handful of clicks, I was able to process that entire email. I can now move on to reading the next email. I did not toggle. I've remained in Salesforce, and I've adopted Salesforce without even realizing that I was using it.
That's great. That's fantastic. But that being said, I'm in sales, so I spend most of my time on looking at contacts that are in Outlook, and they're not necessarily in Salesforce, and or contacts or events I have in Salesforce that are not in Outlook. What do we do about that?
Yes, so let's talk about synchronizing data. If you want to have a consistent calendar in your Outlook application as well as in Salesforce, we're also synchronizing data using Lightning for Outlook, no software to install. So we take the Outlook calendar and we sync it into Salesforce using Lightning Sync. And the same goes with contacts. If you've got native contacts in the Outlook application, you just drag them onto this Salesforce Sync folder, and the contact will then go into Salesforce. And the flip side of that is true, too. Salesforce has a bunch of contacts. We want those contacts to be available to your users on their mobile device. Their mobile device is already been connected to the Exchange server. The Exchange server is that server that is common to all the devices, all the Outlook applications. So we can bring that data from Salesforce onto your users' devices and Outlook applications.
So I think that's going to be, for me, that's going to be phenomenally productive. But I just received an email, and I'm trying to prioritize how that's going to impact my quota. And I know from my Salesforce, I could figure out my commission calculator on the spot. How do I do this here?
Yes, so we have an App Exchange partner who is calculating commissions that you are going to make as a sales rep. Sales reps love dollar signs. So if this is something that matters to you in the Salesforce application and you want to see it there, you can now do this. So let me talk to you about that capability. I'm going to jump into the Salesforce browser, and I'll go on the setup side as an admin. I'm going to expand this section over here and get into the Lightning for Outlook settings. So Lightning for Outlook is all centrally managed in Salesforce. This is the page that drives what is displayed for sales reps in their Outlook. So I'm going to edit that page. And now you're looking at the App Builder. The App Builder is very business analyst friendly. There's no code here. It's all drag and drop. It's a very friendly UI. And I can remove sections if those sections don't really matter in the organization the user is in. And since you were talking about this commission calculator, I'm simply going to drag it into the page over here and save it. All right, the changes were saved. I'm now going to go back into Outlook. I'll refresh. And Lightning for Outlook picked up that configuration change from the cloud. So now when I scroll all the way down, I see how much, I can tell you how much money you're going to have in your pocket at the end of the month. So this is a live demo. I didn't have to package a new installer. I didn't have to push anything on the user's machine. All this is really showing the power of the cloud.
Love it. You guys think that would be helpful?
That's a great question. So Lightning for Outlook is compatible with the desktop Outlook applications version 2016 and 2013 on Windows PCs. It's also compatible with the desktop Outlook 2016 on your Mac, and it's also compatible with Outlook Web Access, which is Outlook on the web through any browser. The Exchange server that is capable of understanding the communication also has to be 2013 or above, whether it's on-prem at your company or in Office 365.
You want to repeat the question?
Yes, so the question is, when I customize this page, is everybody going to see that page? And the answer is no. You can assign pages based on user profiles. So if you want to have a page customized to people in the sales organization, you can give them that page. If you've got folks in the service organization, you can give them another page.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. That was very good. So Lightning for Outlook enables you to, we hope, take the best of each system. We've tested this with multiple customers in a recent time. We have launched it last July, and it is included in your licenses of Salesforce and or Outlook. So it comes with no additional fees. And as Damien said, it's all cloud-based, so no installations, no one have to worry about the updates, and it doesn't consume any of your local resources, so it's pretty good for that. Now, Outlook is important, but files are also important, and I'm assuming we have a lot of customers here that are using SharePoint or OneDrive for Business, and we recognize how important these system of records are. But what we found is a lot of customers were wanting to expand these system of records so they could enable people to collaborate and have more of a social environment where they could collaborate on these files, and they find it hard to do within the system of record. And they wanted to bring this experience to a mobile environment. So we package a product we called Files Connect for Salesforce. And Damien, again, if you could show us how it works.
Absolutely. So let's jump back into Salesforce. I'm going to go to my opportunities list. And I was working on this opportunity recently. So let me expand it. Now, if I go on the chatter feed, I can collaborate with coworkers to make sure that they have access to those files. So here I'm going to @mention Sarah and tell her to take a look at this deck. And you see there is an attachment icon over here that allows me to retrieve files. And this is where you see OneDrive and SharePoint. There's search capability, so if you know exactly the file name that you're looking for, you can start searching for that file name over here. But if you want to explore your SharePoint, you can also look at all the folders that are available in SharePoint. We're connecting to SharePoint. We're not replicating data. So the API that you're looking at here is basically asking SharePoint, hey, what are the files available in that folder? What folders are available? We're basically reading the tree available there in SharePoint and OneDrive. The API can also connect to other file systems that you have. So if you have Google Drive, you can make it available in your external sources as well. So here I'm just going through the tree, and it looks like the file that I was looking for is over here. So I'm going to attach it there and share this with Sarah. So why is this important for you on the IT side? I'm basically referencing this file. I'm not downloading it and then uploading a version of it. It's great because I'm not using space. I'm not using your storage quota for no purposes, right? And we're not getting into the versioning nightmare either. So if I have to edit this file, I'm just going to reference and get into the file without having to create a new version, and then I'll have to share that version again, and the nightmare circle just never ends.
So, like it a lot, but once again, I'm on the road, and I'm trying to figure out a way to be productive while I'm on the road. So is there any way I can access this from my phone?
Yes, absolutely. So let me switch the display to the iPhone. And I now have access to my iPhone with all my Office Productivity Suite over here installed, as well as Salesforce, the mobile app installed in the bottom right-hand side corner. So I'm going to open Salesforce. This is my feed. And in the top right-hand side corner, I'm going to click on the list of objects that are available to me to look at those opportunities. So I'm looking at the same opportunity here. I can tap on it and switch to the feed. All right, I see the file, it's right there. So if you're on the go and you have only access to your mobile device, you now have access to that presentation as well. So if you need to rehearse before meeting with your customer, you can trust that Salesforce will show you this file over here. And what you notice in the bottom left-hand side corner is that there is a PowerPoint icon. So if you want to edit this documentation, you don't need to bring up your laptop, sit at a desk and spin up all that good stuff. You can just swivel in PowerPoint right from your mobile device and edit the file over here. So it's pretty small, but bear with me for a sec. I'm just going to change one word here. And I'll go back into Salesforce. The file is getting saved for me, and I'm getting swiveled back into Salesforce. The preview is refreshing so that I can now access this file again with the new version. I didn't have to download the file locally. I was able to collaborate on it directly into the cloud.
That's great. That's fantastic. So we created integrations where you could open, search, edit, and saved from SharePoint and OneDrive from a browser and chatter or mobile environment directly. If you don't mind, just for the respect of time, we will take questions at the end. We're staying around at the end. If you guys want to come back afterwards, it's going to be easier, or else I don't want to delay too much. So thank you for that. We have...
if you want to ask us questions, you're welcome to come to the booth as well.
Thank you, and we're doing it again tomorrow. So thank you. We've had, and we have great success in doing this with a company called Unilever. Unilever, if you don't recognize it, is the third largest consumer product group in the world. They have brands like Dove soap and cornflakes and Lipton tea. They have 95,000 employees and one of the largest SharePoint deployment in the world. And they were also in this environment where with SharePoint, they couldn't collaborate socially and they couldn't bring it to mobile. So we did partner with Microsoft to serve Unilever. And if we can roll the video, we'll hear it directly from Unilever how that worked. And what's interesting, I think relevant for you guys, is that it's really the IT team who's talking about the experience of deploying this throughout the organization.
Between the person and getting the job done. In the past, we had to mediate and figure out the integration points between Salesforce and Microsoft. We had to build the integration points between document sharing and productivity, the social collaboration.
We had a very fragmented landscape. It was full of lots of applications that were not mobile friendly, they didn't have social in them. You had to go into the Unilever firewall to access them.
The employees, they were not happy. They were feeling the weight of bureaucracy, inaccessible technology, of the challenges of getting things done.
We wanted a system of engagement where our users get a single intuitive user interface that they can access anytime on any device.
This required the joint partnership between Microsoft and Salesforce to make this come to life for the benefit of our employees.
The way we work now with that partnership is far more around mobile, social, and cloud technologies. And that enables us to deploy applications really quickly.
Suddenly, we can share and collaborate in a way that we never thought possible. We no longer internally have to work out the integration points. Chatter is making possible a whole different scale of collaboration between people within our organization. We're very quickly able to start up a Chatter group, integrate that into a SharePoint document collaboration site, and allow people to post documents and collaboratively share on them through social. That's a big change. That just allows us to get content and collaborate very quickly.
Bringing Chatter onto SharePoint has made SharePoint a far more agile and mobile platform. And people actually like it. You know, we've seen engagement levels go up, we've seen the activity levels go up.
Our employees spend a great deal of time in Outlook. With the Salesforce and Microsoft platforms, customer information is at our fingertips, equipping people with the right kind of tools, technology, to go to one place to get work done simpler and quicker.
We're in the process of deploying Office 365 to all of our employees. This is going to give huge productivity benefits. We're also in the process of really building out Salesforce as a system of engagement. With these integrations, we feel like we can do this out of the box with very little implementation, which is a real game changer for us.
You can continuously focus on the employee, and you don't have to worry about, well, will this work or not? Because you've got some of the best brains in the industry making it work.
We're really excited about the potential. As Microsoft and Salesforce do huge levels of innovation, it enables our employees to be more productive, to be happier, and ultimately be better at their jobs.
It does come back to when I started in this job. The reason for getting up and the reason for actually getting stuck into what needed to be done was because this is where you can make a huge difference to people's lives that work in the company. You can give them hours back. You can give them energy to focus on what really counts. And there's no greater thing than helping people, supporting them to be great.
So that was a great success for us. I love this story not only because it talks about productivity from a technology perspective, but because in integrating the way we did with Microsoft, you really increase adoption, you really increase your ROI. And it has the potential, as Unilever stated here, to really transform the culture within the company and how people collaborate, how people can work, and reduce all the frictions that we have right now. Now, it's not always about files and emails. Sometimes customers want analytics, and you might have a group in finance or operations that want to live in data that also resides in Excel. So Microsoft built in Excel 2016 through Power Query integrations into Salesforce. So you can export from Salesforce data and reports and import this directly into Excel. And if you go into Open Excel and if you go into Insert, Data Source, New Sources, you scroll down, you're going to find Salesforce. You enter your credentials, and you're going to be able to import directly into Excel. So that's been quite powerful for a lot of users that we're using both systems, and we're looking for the best way to do things. Now, if you are doing analytics and you want to make decisions really based on the customer success platform, you probably want to use Wave Analytics, which is our native analytics capability that leverages the customer success platform data set. And we build the Wave connector from Excel because sometimes you want to compare the costs of building a product from an engineering perspective and compare this against, you know, the pipeline and the size of the opportunities. So you want to look at the cost of maintaining or increasing the support organization against the number of cases and the type of cases you have. So you have to marry both of this data. And what you can do with the Wave connector is simply go into Excel, search for the add-in from the Office store, add the Wave connector, and then within Excel, you simply select the data. It's going to automatically identify the data types, you upload this into Wave, and you can start generating your interactive graphs and take action. And what's really particular about Wave is that, once again, it works on a mobile device. So the sales manager in the field that's running across the country can also track deals and do interactive graphs and interactive charts and take action on the spot by sharing this through images and chatter and emails and all these things, so you can really take action. So this is, we found, extremely powerful as well. Now, some problems you can't solve through files and emails, so you need real-time communication. And we've had a lot of customers like you who are asking for Skype integrations. And we did this. And Damien, what does it look like?
Yes, that's a great question. So let me show you how it looks like. And I don't have to switch context. I can just remain on that opportunity. So I have Sarah Crawford available here in my chatter feed. And when I hover with the mouse on her name, I see her Skype status. So it looks like she's online. And rather than exchanging and going back and forth forever, I can just pick up a Skype conversation with her and start talking with her. So I can IM with her. I can also give her a call. I can even do a video call if I want to. So in this case, you're seeing the native Skype window available right here in Salesforce. I'm going to give access to my microphone and my video. And now I'm on a call with Sarah. Hey, Sarah, I was just working with you on this opportunity. I wanted to make sure that you have all you need to move forward. So I'm going to close.
Sarah hung up on you.
Yeah, she's set to go. And the same is available throughout the chatter thread. So if I want to access other people, I see that Ryan is offline at this point, so there's no point contacting him. I can just go through the entire feed and look at whoever is available to help me on that deal.
That's great. And this works on the product Skype for Business, which used to be called Link or Communicator if you have this in your enterprise. Recently, it was opened up with web-based APIs and SDK, so we started building this integration. So once again, all web-based, enabling your Salesforce user to stay in Salesforce, keep on working on opportunities and accounts or cases, and at the same time be able to collaborate directly within Skype. They can do this on browser, they can do this on phone, and it's going to be available in about 3 weeks. And we have an exciting roadmap coming after that, where we're a little dependent on Microsoft's opening their APIs and SDK. But we see this as an important product, and it's going to keep on growing fast because we see a lot of usage on Skype. Overall, for these integrations, we are very, very happy with the adoptions. We very quickly have thousands of customers and hundreds of thousands of users, if not more. Coca-Cola here from Atlanta is one big one. But we have customers across all industries, and regulated industries like healthcare and government and financial services are using this as well. We have customers large and small because it's really, really through add-ins, and since it's all cloud-based, easy to use. It scales very well. And for each of these integrations, you're respecting security and access permissions that are embedded within either of the platforms. So this is, we find, a huge benefit. Now, what is the future of productivity? We've had a lot of growth over the years because we took a beginner's mindset to a lot of problems. Beginner's mindset meaning we approach problems, how would you solve it today if you had no baggage, no history, no legacy, just with what is available, what are the trends, and what is the problem to solve? And right now, we're in an environment where to collaborate, I'm going to use on a daily basis 6 or 7 apps. And I'm dealing a lot with customers and partners, so I have 4 or 5 chat environments plus a text. So on a daily basis here, are you guys using more than 3 applications to collaborate? Raise your hand, yeah? More than 4? More than 5? I mean, it's phenomenal for me every time I shut down my computer to see how many apps I need to turn off. And all these apps, most of these apps have been born on the desktop. And they, slowly and sometimes reluctantly adapted to move to the cloud, and more recently are trying to move and adapt to the mobile environment. And it's somewhat odd to me sometimes that I use Word to create a very simple one-pager paragraph or an agenda for a meeting, and it's the same application that's going to be used by Stephen King to write a 500-page novel. Or I use Excel, which is very, very rich and powerful in functionality, to track a little tiny project, and it's the same application that an economist is going to use to build a statistical regression model of the mortgage market. It kind of seems odd. So we found a team that had built an app called Quip, and they took a beginner's mindset, and they started cloud, and they started mobile, and they started social. And we started using it, and it changed the way we work so much that we ended up acquiring the company. So I'm very happy to present Quip as a Salesforce company now. And it really changes the way you work, because you can create documents independent of type. So I can create a document that has text and an Excel spreadsheets and images and all this, and make it a really living document because they embedded the messaging platform. So anywhere in the document, I can trigger a chat, I can trigger a comment, I can @mention people, I can @mention a group. I can do parallel chat if I want to have a side conversation or a side conversation with another group on the side. And in doing this, you have a single app that replaces 6 or 7 of the previous apps that you had. And of course, it works on mobile. It has an absolutely outstanding mobile interface. It works offline. It works on Android, iOS, and Windows. And it is secure, scalable, and it enables you to keep all the privacy controls that you want to have, whether you're managing a community that collaborates within the company or within and outside the company. I manage partnerships, so I spend my time with every functional group in the company, legal, marketing, and products, and engineering, and the executive team, and the PR, and all this. And I do the same with the external company. And I've been in years of email nightmares where the attachment is in an email or in a repository or mine or another one, or somebody sent me a chat with a link to yet another document. And most of the time I have no clue where to find and how to help people and how to help them help me resolve these problems. And we moved all the partnerships that I manage, including Microsoft, onto the Quip platform. And the impact is phenomenal. We are moving faster, we're better aligned. What used to be a deluge of email is replaced by little chats that are point specific to the right person in context all the time. And our weekly calls, which we had 2 that were an hour each, are now half an hour. And sometimes we skip them altogether. So I really encourage you to try it. We're going to launch it more aggressively next week at Dreamforce, but it is really a phenomenal product that's worth a try. And I have to admit personally, I could not fully understand the impact until I started using it. So download Quip. There's a free option. It grows virally. It's a beautiful thing for that. It's very simple and intuitive to use. And if you want to learn more, come visit us, booth 501. When you go down the escalator, we're on the right-hand side, and we have more about these demos and a group of SCs that can help you with that. We have a partnership website with Microsoft with more information. And by all means, if you can attend or watch Dreamforce, it's starting next week from the 4th to the 7th. There's Dreamforce Live that has live streamings on most of the events and the keynotes if you want to learn more about what we're trying to do. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Hope this was productive for you.